In this segment, we are going to discuss about the vertebral column. Our vertebral column is not a single bone, but it is made up of 33 smaller bones which are placed one above the other and form the vertebral column. These smaller bones are known as vertebrae. These 33 vertebrae, depending upon the regions where they are present, are classified as cervical vertebrae, which are present in the cervix or neck region, named as C1 to C7, 12 thoracic vertebrae, which are present in our chest or thorax region, 5 lumbar vertebrae, which are present in the abdomen or lower back region, 5 sacral vertebrae in the lower back region again, and 4 coccygeal vertebrae, which form the tail of a vertebral column or known as caudal bone. Because of this arrangement, we can move our back in the forward direction, backward direction, or in a twisted manner. Now, as you can see, our vertebral column is not straight, but it shows the curvatures. Now, it shows two types of curvatures. In the cervical region, it is curved inward, whereas in the thoracic region, it is curved outward. Again, in the lumbar region, it is curved inward, and from sacral and coccygeal region, it is curved outward. See, as you can see, in the cervical region, it is curved inward in cervical, and in the lumbar region, it is curved inward, whereas in the thoracic and sacral region, it is curved outward. Curved inward portion is known as lordosis, and curved outward part is known as kyphosis. Lordosis, curved inward curvature, and kyphosis, curved outward or outward curvatures. And after sacral bone, there is a tailbone known as coccyx. Now, out of these 33 vertebrae, superior 24 vertebrae are articulating type, whereas the sacrum and coccyx are non-articulating type. That means 5 sacral vertebrae are fused together to form a single bone, and 4 coccygeal vertebrae are fused together to form one single caudal or a tailbone. Now, these articulating vertebrae are articulated with the help of, joined with the help of intervertebral disc. This intervertebral disc provides the movement to our vertebral column, and it also reduces friction during the movement. It prevents two bones from collision. Now, this intervertebral disc is nothing but the fibrocartilaginous material. That is, it is made up of a type of connective tissue, fibrocartilaginous connective tissue. If we see the cut section of this fibrocartilaginous connective tissue, that is of the intervertebral disc. See, for example, this is the intervertebral disc present between this and this vertebrae. If we see the cut section of this intervertebral disc, we find a ring-like structure known as annulus. This is nothing but fibrocartilaginous connective tissue. Inside this, we find centrally situated nucleus. Now, this nucleus contains the molecules made up of peptidoglycans. These peptidoglycans molecules are strongly hydrophilic. That means they can absorb water from the surrounding. Now, at night, it absorbs fluid from the surrounding at night when we are in a resting condition. When we are at rest, this nucleus, this peptidoglycan molecules absorb fluid from the surrounding and it swells. Whereas during daytime, whenever there is a pressure, see, the superior vertebrae will exert pressure as we are in an erect posture or we are in a standing position. So because of this pressure, this fluid expels out and it helps in distributing the pressure equally over the vertebrae. As we grow old, these peptidoglycan molecules loses their property to reabsorb fluid and it becomes brittle. The disc becomes brittle. There are total 23 intervertebral discs are present. There is no intervertebral disc between first and second cervical vertebrae. That is between atlas and axis there is no no intervertebral disc. Whereas rest of the 6 cervical vertebrae have intervertebral disc in between them. So there are 6 intervertebral discs in the cervical region. There are 12 intervertebral discs in between thoracic vertebrae. There are 5 intervertebral discs in between lumbar vertebrae. So altogether they are 23 in number. Again, the sacral and coccygeal vertebrae lack intervertebral disc in between them. See, first, second, third, fourth and fifth. These are sacral vertebrae. These vertebrae are fused together to form a single bone, that is sacrum. So there is no intervertebral disc in between these vertebrae and no intervertebral disc in between the coccygeal, 4 coccygeal vertebrae. That is why sacrum and coccyx are known as non-articulating type of vertebrae, whereas rest of the vertebrae, that is superior 24 vertebrae, are articulating type. And these are non-articulating type, or they are also known as fused vertebrae, as intervertebral disc is absent in between them. Again, it is also not present in between first and second cervical vertebrae. Rest of the cervical vertebrae possess intervertebral disc in between them. Now, there are various types of vertebrae. There is a slight difference between their structure, but the parts which are common in each vertebrae are body, vertebral arch and processes. Now, body, this is central portion, this is known as body. This helps in bearing the weight of the superior vertebrae. Then, the vertebral arch which forms the neural canal. Neural canal through which our spinal cord passes. And various processes which gives attachment to the muscles and provides facets. See, these are the facets for the articulation of superior and inferior vertebrae. Now, there are 2 transverse processes and a single spine. Now, what are the functions of vertebral column? It gives posture to our body and helps in different types of movements. It consists of a neural canal through which spinal cord passes. That means it provides passage and protection to the spinal cord. It bears our body weight. See, as you can see, the cervical vertebrae are holding our head. That means it is bearing the weight of our head. And so is the case with the lower vertebrae. And it also provides the attachment to various muscles, various back muscles.